So scenario planning can be used to explore and address many different situations, particularly those situations where the future is highly uncertain. For our work in East Coast climate change scenario planning, our focus will be on two main project objectives, and we'll be confirming these project objectives over the coming weeks. The first thing is that we will be exploring how fishery governance and management issues are likely to be affected by climate-driven change in fisheries, particularly shifting stock availability and distributions. So this exploration of how climate change might affect management and governance issues will then, as a result, lead us to the second objective, which is, as we're going through the exploration, we will then be developing a set of tools and processes that provide flexible and resilient fishery management strategies that effectively address uncertainty in an era of climate change. So in many ways, the first project objective is the exploration we will go through. The second objective is then, as a result of the exploration, we want to develop a set of tools and processes that can be used in an ongoing fashion to improve fisheries management strategies. The second detail of the initiative that it's worth sharing here is what we call in scenario work a project focal question. A focal question helps us, by definition, focus our work. When we're looking at the future, we could investigate everything, but that would be a lot of work, and it might not provide us with the specificity that we're really looking for. So that reason, we create a focal question. In this case, for our project here, we're going to be asking the question, how might climate change affect stock distribution, availability, and other aspects of East Coast marine fisheries over the next 20 years? And then what does that mean for effective future governance and management across multiple jurisdictions? So this focal question doesn't have an easy answer to it. And therefore, there could be multiple answers. And therefore, the answers that we get are basically going to be the scenarios. So this focal question is the thing that generates our multiple scenarios about what the future could look like. So a focal question like this will allow us to explore a broad range of forces that might affect fisheries over the course of the next 20 years, and which then in turn might affect the most suitable ways to prepare. This is explained with the diagram on the right-hand side there. You can see in the outer circle, these are some of the forces that we might expect to be exploring here. Rising ocean temperatures, changes in storm intensity, shifts in consumer demand, maybe new ocean uses such as offshore energy and aquaculture, maybe changes in fishery access. All of those things are probably forces that we will see change over the course of the next 20 years. As a result of some of those things and as a result of other things, we will also then see changes in range shifts, in ocean productivity, in habitat conditions, in recruitment patterns. So many things that are much more kind of directly related to fisheries are likely to change over that time. And then as a result of that, with all these changes, we will need to see kind of different management actions be pursued as a result. And then finally, on this question of the details of the initiative, here are a series of expected outcomes. This initiative is going to run for the next 12 to 18 months. At the end of this, towards the, let's say, the end of 2022, the start of 2023, we expect to have the following. Firstly, a set of scenarios. These will be a few stories that describe in quantitative detailed terms different ways in which a changing climate might affect the future of East Coast fisheries. So the set of scenarios will be the platform. From that, we will then get a better understanding of the challenges and opportunities facing fishery management in the future. In addition, we will be helping develop a set of near-term and long-term management priorities, thinking about what is it that's going to be important for fisheries management to help them achieve their objectives under a range of different future conditions. There will also be, in the expected outcomes, a set of policy recommendations for broader governance changes that improve all of our ability to adapt to future scenarios. Remember, we're thinking here specifically about governance, thinking about the relationships between different jurisdictions. Any scenario project is a learning project. And so it's to be expected that as a result of doing this, we will probably emerge with a list of data gaps, a list of research needs and monitoring needs to enable us to track what's happening under climate change and a set of changing conditions. And then finally, and possibly most generally, but maybe most importantly, this whole initiative, and particularly the set of scenarios, provides us with a framework for ongoing conversation and idea generation for all stakeholders to use, not only as a framework for conversation, but then also thinking about, okay, how do we push forward with ideas so that we are better prepared for a future of climate change?